The first game I played was called Intruder, where you play as a little kid whose parents aren't home. You start by exploring the house, and I was starting to get pretty bored until I got jump scared by this guy. Next we have a game called Lovey Dovey, where you explore an abandoned toilet factory in search of 69 golden toilets, and there's a heart guy with human legs who's constantly chasing you. You also have a rocket launcher with unlimited ammo that you can use to stun him. I have a lot of questions for the dev, like what is the connection between the toilets and the heart guy? Was it just completely random? But anyway, once I collected 14 toilets, I had enough and moved on. For number 3, we have a backrooms game, which is honestly pretty scary. You're pretty much just walking through the backrooms and slowly going more and more insane. Apparently there's some kind of monster that's chasing you, but I think I let my craziness get too high because I lost the game. Next we have Self-Portrait, which is a completely different vibe than the backrooms game. It opens with someone getting a nice plate of fried chicken, sitting down on the couch and falling asleep. Then, in what I guess is this person's dream, he wakes up in the water surrounded by some sort of paradise with chicken eggs floating everywhere. Once you get onto shore, you run into a terrifying looking chicken and you keep on walking until you get to the chicken town center where there's a bunch of cozy looking houses and 2 chickens fighting. When I tried to leave the town center, I fell through the map, so I guess that was my sign to move on to the next game. For number 5, we have a game called Flightmares. The game starts with us in a plane going to the bathroom, but once we get in the bathroom, there's some kind of massive explosion on the plane and we pass out. After that, we wake up and run into a dancing alien. I guess this was supposed to be the monster in the game, but the alien doesn't look scary at all, but when I got closer, I guess he killed me. For number 6, we have a game called Draw, which is a platformer where you can draw certain things to help you with the levels. I thought the concept of drawing stuff to help you get past the obstacles was pretty cool, and I especially like the background drawings. I can tell whoever made this game was really passionate about it. Next, we have another scary game called Mannequin, where you play as a woman who owns a clothing store. She gets mad at an old lady who's trying to return some clothes, and then this old lady puts a curse on the store. Being that the game is called Mannequin, I already knew what the quote-unquote scary thing was gonna be. So I went up to one of these mannequins, just because its head looked so weird. I don't know if that was part of the curse or just a glitch, but after 3 seconds of staring at the mannequin, it killed me. For number 8, we have a game which is super underrated. It's just called Press the Button. It's basically a series of different levels where you need to, as the title says, just press the button. But every new level, some aspect of the gameplay gets manipulated in a really interesting way. In one of the levels, a bunch of new clickers spawned, and I had to figure out which one of the clickers was the original one. Or this other level where there was a hot and cold bar, and you had to figure out where the buttons were using that. Overall, this game was super creative and fun, and I highly recommend you go check it out for yourself. Next, we have a game called Sunrise.exe, which is a pretty simple platformer with a really unique art style. Similar to the Draw game, I can tell whoever made this was really passionate about it, and I think it's fair to say that about all these games, because to put a bunch of work into something and then list it for free on Steam means the most important thing for you is just to have people experience your game, which is pretty awesome.